Hey everybody, what's going on? Burrow here, back inside of the Binding of Isaac Rebirth, and for this run I've actually, I was just kind of doing some random runs here, and I decided to record a run, and well, we get a little bit of a ridiculous one, so we're going to go get the resets out of the way, but we are not going to be resetting very long. This race is actually pretty crazy, I gotta say. You could see just by the video length, we're gonna go fast, and we're gonna go fast relatively soon. And I wish that Infestation 2 was part of it, but don't worry, it gets much better. So, just want to let everyone know, by the way, since we are early in the video, if you want to see the race that I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be racing, I believe tonight. That's when this video is going up. Yeah, we're going to be racing tonight, if you want to see it happen. And you can see by that double deal there, 2 pieces of Guppy, Death's Touch, Spectral Tears, and then I get teleported back to my deal. And I got a Halo on top of all that. So that is tier rate, damage, health for my next deal. It's all good. Well, I actually really don't care about the soul hearts that I have right now. I always feel like as long as I have 1 heart to protect my devil deal, or even half a heart at times, I'm okay, especially with this, I guess you could say, this build right here. And I accidentally take a little bit of bomb damage there, so I actually gain nothing from that soul, from that Tinadrock. And I do get tapped here by the spiders, unfortunately. I do get a little too greedy with being aggressive and being, I guess, up close and personal with once I have high damage. But yeah, if you want to see the race, I'm actually going to be going up against Steak. S-T-E-A, or A-E, I forget. By the way, I'm going to be going up against Steak. I'm going to be the second race of the evening. That'll be starting at around 9:10 p.m. EDT, if you want to see that. Now, I will say, show up early, because, well, sometimes they get ahead of schedule. But, you know, if you do miss it, I will be putting the tournament match on the YouTube for those who missed it, just like I did with the last match. And I gotta say, I am aware of all the mistakes that I made in that last run. It's a little crazy as to what happened there. So I pick up the Guppy's tail, and now I'm Guppy on B2 with Death's Touch, Spectral Tears, all of that. So this is already pretty crazy. And I go ahead and bomb the pots there. That's pretty much the only use for bombs at this point for me. I feel like since I'm on Cellar, I might as well utilize my bombs, get at least 15 cents, so I can try and pull just a little bit of mapping. Mapping is very important to me. I'm going to go ahead and check this. I probably shouldn't have even done that, because as long as I have at least a couple keys, then I'm fine, honestly, to enter my shops. There's really not much I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be trying going as fast as I can, because if I have this much damage, I basically want to live off of... I want to try and live off boss rooms and devil deals if I can. If there's an item room on the way, I won't say no to it, and there's a swallowed penny, so if I need to make more cash, if I do find mapping, I can do that. So that is very nice. I went ahead and took up blue map, because your super secret is typically next to your boss room, so it's mildly reliable for finding your boss rooms relatively quickly. And we get a fall in there. I go ahead and assume that we're going to get something in our double deal that I can reroll, and it's actually Abaddon. So we go ahead and reroll the devil deal, or the fallen item. Now, fun fact, if you actually reroll the fallen item first, so if I had actually rerolled that fallen item without leaving the room, it'll reroll into another devil deal item. But if you leave the room, then it's gonna just reroll into a normal boss item. And I go ahead and check that cursor and try and find Pact, so I can get just a little bit of tier rate. But I'm mostly just gonna be rushing straight to my bosses. Like I said, I'll check the item room. And I honestly probably shouldn't have even touched that. That was a blind curse. Looking back at it now, I definitely should not have even touched that. In fact, blind in general, you don't want to check your item room. You don't want to check your shop. You don't want to check anything. And when you get a devil deal, you want to see Krampus. And I actually touched the shop there. And then remember, wait, blind, don't go in there. You can't afford anything. You don't want to have a map happen. and then you can't do anything with it. And I still go ahead and touch the red chest. It only takes a second, and there could potentially be a double deal port, or maybe I can find a Pandora's box and get that out of the curse room deal. I do get a cube of meat. When you get a horseman, you're always going to get a cube of meat or a bandage ball, so it is safe to take that blind. I don't know about taking blind boss items, because you could potentially pick up an experimental treatment, which would be awful, but that's really the only item. And this is where the build gets crazy. Tammy's head this early on with the size, I will drop my D6 if I have size, period. I don't care if I have Guppy or I don't. If I have Guppy or don't have Guppy, it doesn't matter. I'm dropping my D6 for Tammy's head. And the reason I do that is because the room clear potential is just so great that there's nothing you can really do. I mean, if I was to race against this, it would pretty much be good game, because, like I said, there's not much that your opponent can do against this build. I have a general idea of where my bosses are going to be. I have pretty much near instantaneous room clear, and I go ahead and pick up the PhD, because, I mean, hey, maybe I can find a 48-hour energy pill to use on my bosses if I need to get that extra charge in there, or some tears up, some speed up. Any of those pills. I'm mostly looking for speed up pills, though, or balls of steel. One of those two. Now we have Curse the Blind again, so I'm just going to try and run directly to my boss. I'm not even going to really, well, yep, I noticed it was blind. Like I said, I did not do this commentary live, so I'm a little unaware of what I was doing there. I did waste just a little bit of time, but overall we're doing well. The curse, or the super secret, definitely did troll me on this map, which sucks because it did send me in the opposite direction of my boss. It can happen. It's not very common, but it can happen. No point in doing my boss rush there, or not boss rush, challenge room, because, well, you know, I'm already Guppy. There's no reason to. I go ahead and take the dinner. And I can go ahead and take both of these. So we got the mark, that's a 1 damage up, and the sack dagger. Not that big of an pickup, since we do already have the meat cube. Now the meat cube will do, I believe, 8 damage per tick, and the sacrificial dagger does 15. So, I mean, it is nice, but it's not that big of a pickup when you can compare it to what else could have been in that pool. Although I don't know what you could even get for, I don't know what you could even get for, like, 1 heart there. And I see my Joker card just kind of sitting there, so I'll hold on to that. And there's our boss. Unfortunately, we get the Curse of the Maze. So what I'm going to end up doing here is I'm going to probably be using my Joker card to steal my boss rush so I can see what's in here. I see Judas' shadow, and I think about it for a second, like, do I want to die that much? And then I become the Ultra Omega Guppy because I can, because why not? So we're going to go ahead and probably burn through all of our lives quickly. Collar. Well, I don't believe the collar will actually proc until you're on your last life anyway. At least I haven't seen it proc until you're on your last life. So, yeah. And once I proc Judas' Shadow, I have enough damage to clear this. Now, I honestly think it's worth the time to kill myself, because I'm going to kill my bosses at twice the speed, which is basically going to be an instant kill at this point for Blue Baby, Isaac, things like that. Being able to make sure that I can kill Isaac in one transition, you know, before he can go up and do his beam of light stuff is very important, and in overall it's going to save me about 5 to 10 seconds for both Blue Baby and Isaac. So, you know, the extra second, or I believe it was, what, 30, 40 seconds to go through all of my lives, that to me is worth it. And plus, it will guarantee that I can one-shot any basic enemy up until this point. Now, I can pretty much already do that, but if I go into a room with, like, a boss in it or anything like that, like Polycephalus, then, you know, I don't have to get all of the tiers on there. In addition, it does make the tier size just a little bit bigger. And what that'll end up doing is making it so, you know, it'll reach more of the screen and have a bit of a bigger clear here. Now, I do get a little bit trolled on my super secret there again, and it's not even on the complete opposite side, so I end up full clearing this map, which absolutely sucks. I was kind of hoping, you know, I could have maybe found a Liberty Cap or a little bit better mapping. Blue map is not my first choice. In fact, I really hate the blue map, but I took it because, well, I'm probably not going to have another opportunity for mapping, and I should just go with it now rather than later. But we're at about 10 and a half minutes right now, going into our heart fight. Or not heart fight, Fred fight. Womb 1. And we're going to be clearing the rest of this pretty fast. Now, I do believe that the rest of this run, I don't get completely trolled by my super secret. Usually when it's really, really far away, you won't have that much of an issue. Now, the reason I don't bomb through my super secret is I was really thinking that maybe I get a super greed or not, or get a regular greed, or it might take longer to bomb through. Which, depending on which way I had bombed, it could have actually taken longer. So I decided to go around rather than actually bomb through the secret room, because I could have wasted a little bit more time there. And those instant kills right there, like you see on the heart, is exactly why I wanted the shadow this early, and I do feel like it saves a little bit of time. It saves a few seconds for every single boss. And those seconds add up every single time. So because I'm killing them just a little bit faster, it'll save time in the long run. And because those sides are bigger, it was able to hit that guy on the right side. If I was using my normal tiers, then it would not have reached. Now, unfortunately, I don't actually kill that guy with the Tammy's head, but the little flies definitely do get him. And that right there is another reason that I wanted to have Judas' shadow, because I was able to just he didn't go up and he didn't do the beam of light. That alone is about, you know, 5 or so seconds, probably even more than that, because he does go up, does a full sweep of the beams, and you won't actually see the boss and be able to hit him for quite a bit. And we do get a Curse of the Blind here, and I don't even have keys anyway. I didn't bother picking up keys because honestly, there's going to be absolutely nothing in those chests that's going to really speed me up that much more outside of maybe, say, the mind or, you know, some form of mapping. Really, the mind would be the only thing that I would really take. And because it was blind anyway, it wasn't that big of a deal. And then we take a little bit of an Ipecac shot here, but we really don't take that much damage overall. And you're really not going to take damage. But anyway, here's the blue baby fight. We just go ahead and tank him real quick. I wanted to make sure that I could get all of the size on him so I can get a pretty quick kill. And that is the fight. I hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed this run. 12:53 is an amazing time. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this run, be sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for future videos. I'm going to be putting up these at 9 a.m. EDT for future reference in case you want to know when my Isaac videos go live. I've actually been making a backlog of them, so they should be up fairly consistently. And before someone quotes me about how consistent my YouTube content is and how I'm really bad at it, don't worry, I'm aware. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one, everybody. Later.